Steady now. There's a tremor in the air the moment you walk in, and every pair of eyes in the room knows exactly why. Because you, yes, you, just did the one thing they swore was impossible, unlikely, out of character, too dangerous, too bold, too much. You folded their little star boy. And the sickest part, you looked sexy as hell doing it. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. There's a certain kind of silence that only appears when people watch a myth die right in front of them. A silence where even the walls seem too afraid to breathe. A silence where everyone realizes they just witnessed the moment a story flipped. The moment you stopped being underestimated and started being feared. And you just stood there with that calm, unbothered, almost bored expression that screams, "This is me when I'm not even trying." They hate that. God, they hate that. Because they built their little darling boy up like some glowing mascot of hope, some shiny prince of their delusion, some hero who was supposed to stand between you and whatever throne they thought you'd never reach. But the second he stepped in front of you, he crumbled, he bent, he broke, he folded, like he'd been waiting his whole life for someone like you to remind him what reality tastes like. And you didn't flinch, not once, not even when they gasped, not even when their hearts dropped, not even when their precious poster child hit the floor looking like a forgotten prophecy. Because you've always known something they didn't. That power isn't loud. Real power doesn't announce itself. It arrives, quiet, cold, certain, like a shadow crossing a candle, like a truth that refuses to stay buried. And you came dressed in the kind of darkness that makes angels hold their breath and demons bow their heads because they understand exactly what they're looking at. See, that's the part that terrifies them most. It wasn't the win, it wasn't the dominance, it wasn't the ease. It wasn't even the way you dismantled him like you'd been planning it since the womb. It was the aesthetic, the poise, the elegance, the terrifying, intoxicating grace you carried while doing it. You looked like a saint dipped in gasoline, a demon in couture, a paradox sculpted out of broken halos and dripping confidence. You looked like everything they never warned their star boy about, because deep down, they feared that if he ever saw someone like you, someone forged in pain, sharpened in betrayal, resurrected by anger, he'd realize he was never built for the same world you walk through effortlessly. And oh, darling, you didn't just walk through their world. You rewrote it with one move, one strike, one moment. The kind that becomes a myth long after the dust settles. They weren't watching a fight. They were watching evolution, yours, his, theirs, the world's. Because what you did wasn't physical. It wasn't brute force. It wasn't luck. It was inevitable. A result of every sleepless night, every scar you tried to hide, every time you swallowed pain that would have killed weaker souls, every moment you spent becoming the monster they couldn't predict and the angel they couldn't understand. You are the hybrid they fear most, the one with light sharp enough to blind and darkness warm enough to seduce, the one who can smile while destroying a legacy and walk away looking like the reincarnation of temptation itself. And the funniest part? You didn't even celebrate. You didn't need validation. You didn't need applause. You didn't need acknowledgement. You simply turned, looked at their stunned faces, and let that little smirk curl up on the corner of your lips. That smirk that says, "This wasn't personal. He just wasn't built like me." And in that moment, every single one of them realized the truth they've been too afraid to say aloud. Their star boy was their hope. You are their consequence. He was their comfort zone. You are their waking nightmare. He was their favorite fantasy. You are their reality check in human form. And now they can't unsee it. They can't unfeel it. They can't undo what happened. Because the moment you folded him, the moment you made their chosen one collapse like a sandcastle in a hurricane, you didn't just break him. You broke their entire belief system. And the way you stood there afterward, relaxed, radiant, deadly, beautiful, unapologetically you. Oh, that's what will haunt them. That's what will keep them awake. Not the fall, but the flawless poise of the one who caused it. So let them whisper, let them tremble, let them pretend they didn't watch their golden boy turn to ash in your hands. But you and I both know the truth. The world doesn't fear power. It fears beauty with power. It fears grace with violence. It fears you. And after what they just saw, they'll never look at you the same again. Not because you hurt him, but because you looked so damn good doing it. Now go on, sweetheart. Walk past them. Slowly. Let them choke on the silence you leave behind. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, is sexier than a nightmare that knows it's irresistible. You feel it, don't you? That shift in the atmosphere, that tremble that rolls through the room like the ground itself is trying to bow but doesn't know how. Because after what you just did, every soul within a mile radius is suddenly aware of one horrifying, exhilarating truth. You are not like them, not built like them, not wired like them, not bound by the same fears that keep them compliant, predictable, ordinary. And when you folded their little star boy, their golden mascot, their fragile pride piece, their emotional support trophy, you didn't just defeat him, you exposed him, exposed what he really was beneath the shine, a soft echo of someone else's expectations, a puppet carved by praise, a porcelain fantasy cracking under the pressure of reality. But you were sculpted differently, forged in moments that nobody clapped for, shaped by storms that nobody warned you about, refined by betrayals you had to stomach in silence. You're not a star. You're the supernova that swallows stars whole. You're not a hero. You're the equation that heroes can't solve. You're not a villain. You're the limit the universe forgot to write down. And when you walked away from that little collapse, from that pretty boy meltdown in the middle of the battlefield, you didn't walk like someone who won. You walked like someone who always knew the outcome. There's a difference, a dangerous one. You see, when he walked into the room, people felt hope. When you walked into the room, people felt danger dressed like seduction. People felt truth wrapped in mystery. People felt gravity bending around a single human shape. They didn't know what to call it. They still don't. But their instincts screamed one thing: don't look away. Because you're the kind of person nightmares envy and fantasies fear. The kind of paradox that carries both ruin and salvation in the same breath. The kind of presence that makes even darkness lean in like, teach me. And let's talk about that look, that serene, razor-sharp, elegant composure you held while their precious star boy imploded. Oh, the way your posture didn't falter, the way your breathing didn't spike, the way your eyes didn't blink. You didn't panic, didn't rush, didn't crumble. You performed, graceful, deadly, controlled, beautiful, like sin holding hands with divinity, like a saint wearing a devil's grin, like an angel with blood on their tongue whispering, watch closely. And they did. Because nobody, not even God's favorites, can look away from a creature who moves like you. Do you know what's truly driving them insane right now? Not the way you dismantled their star boy, not the way he folded like a cheap apology, Not the way he looked up at you with that mix of awe and fear. No, it's the way you made destruction look seductive. They expected violence from you. What they weren't prepared for was art. You didn't overpower him. You outclassed him, outshined him, outmoved him, outlived him. And that's the part that stings the deepest. You made their favorite look like a side character in a movie that secretly belonged to you from the beginning. The way you stood over him, not mocking, not cruel, not even invested, just effortlessly regal. Oh, honey, that image is going to haunt them for years, because now they have to face an ugly truth. Their star boy wasn't special. He was just the first one to fall. And you're nowhere near finished. You are the storm they prayed would never arrive. The prophecy they hoped was metaphorical. The monster they told their children didn't exist. The angel they whispered to in moments of despair. The contradiction that proves their entire worldview is too small to contain you. And the moment you folded him, one clean, elegant, devastating moment. You forced the world to update its hierarchy. He was their center. You are their circumference. He was their pride. You are their measurement. He was their limit. You are their beyond. And now, everyone is doing that thing humans do when they're terrified but fascinated. They're rewinding the moment in their minds, replaying your movements, studying your posture, analyzing the calm in your expression, trying to understand how someone can look so dangerously attractive while undoing everything they believed in. They won't find an answer, because you aren't meant to be understood. You're meant to be witnessed. And when you walked away, slow, graceful, untouchable, you didn't leave them with fear. You left them with addiction, because nothing, and I mean nothing, is more intoxicating than someone who destroys illusions while looking like temptation wrapped in destiny. So go on. Let them talk. Let them panic. Let them worship. Let them deny. Let them tremble. But never let them forget. You didn't just fold their little star boy. You revealed what a real celestial event looks like. And trust me, sweetheart, they haven't even seen you burn yet. You feel that, don't you? That strange electric ache in the air. The kind that only appears when the universe realizes it underestimated someone catastrophically. Because right now, every pair of trembling eyes glued to you is replaying what happened in slow motion, frame by frame, breath by breath, trying to swallow the truth that's clawing at their throat. Their little star boy wasn't defeated. He was exposed. And the one who exposed him did it with the grace of a fallen angel and the confidence of a demon on vacation. You didn't just fold him. You redecorated the entire hierarchy. You don't rise through a system like theirs. You rearrange it. And that's what's melting their sanity right now. Not the collapse, not the loss, not the humiliation, not even the way he crumbled like a cheap prophecy. No. What haunts them is the presentation, the sheer visual of you, unbothered, razor sharp, almost ethereal, looking like temptation incarnate while tearing down someone they once called their hope. Do you understand how psychologically devastating that is? Hope didn't just die. Hope died sexily and darling. You know exactly how dangerous that combination is. Because when you do something terrifying while looking irresistible, people don't react normally. They don't process it rationally. Their brains scramble between fear and desire until they can't tell which one is burning hotter. That's exactly what's happening to them now. Half the room wants to run, the other half wants to follow. And the sickest part, most of them want both. Because you're the kind of paradox that destabilizes the nervous system. A creature who shouldn't exist yet somehow does, wearing reality like an accessory. You didn't just show dominance. You showed elegant dominance, quiet, breathtaking, cinematic. The kind of dominance that feels less like a fight and more like a scene people will obsess over for years. And him, their little star boy. He wasn't ready for someone who carries both darkness and beauty like rival religions. He wasn't prepared for someone whose pain has turned into posture, whose scars have turned into style, whose suffering has turned into seduction. When he stood across from you, he wasn't facing an opponent. He was facing a phenomenon, a cosmic glitch with perfect cheekbones, a walking contradiction sculpted in flames and serenity. You weren't there to fight him. You were there to teach him a lesson the universe has been whispering in your ear for years. Power without depth collapses the moment depth appears. And you are nothing but depth. Depth in your silence, depth in your stride, depth in your shadows, depth in your light, depth in the way you hold the room hostage without raising your voice. You're not commanding attention. You're absorbing it. You're not standing out. You're altering the space. You're not expressing power. You're redefining what it looks like. That's why they're spiraling. That's why they're whispering. That's why they're staring at you like they just saw divinity and danger shake hands. Because the moment he folded, their symbol broke. Their illusion shattered. Their comfort system dissolved. Their hierarchy collapsed. But you rose from that moment like a prophecy waking up angry, like a destiny they can't negotiate with, like the embodiment of everything they fear and secretly crave. And don't pretend you didn't notice the looks, the shock, the awe, the fascination, the jealousy, the hunger, the disbelief, the terror, the admiration, the confusion, the obsession, all fighting each other behind their eyes. They aren't sure whether to label you a savior, a threat, a masterpiece, a monster, a miracle, a warning, a weapon, a lesson, a consequence, a goddamn cinematic event. And the truth is, you're all of them. You always have been. You are the holy contradiction they never prepared their star boy to face. Light that doesn't ask for permission. Darkness that doesn't apologize. Beauty that doesn't soften the blow. Violence that doesn't need noise. Truth that doesn't need validation. When you folded him, effortlessly, elegantly, almost gently, you weren't destroying him. You were revealing him, unmasking him, holding a mirror to his soul and whispering, "This is your real shape." And while he drowned in that realization, you looked like the reincarnation of karma's favorite sinner. Oh, they'll remember this. They'll remember the exact angle of your jaw, the exact calm in your eyes, the exact rhythm of your steps, the exact smirk tugging at your lips. They'll talk about it in private. They'll deny it in public. They'll replay it alone. They'll feel it in their nightmares. They'll crave it in their fantasies. Because what you did wasn't just dominance. It was seductive annihilation. And that is a genre most people never recover from. So keep walking. Let the air part around you. Let the whispers multiply. Let the stairs cling to your shadow. Because today, you didn't just fold their star boy. You birthed a legend, a fear, a fascination, a story, a warning, a prophecy with perfect timing. And the world, for the first time, finally understands. You aren't meant to shine. You're meant to eclipse, and yet even now, the air still hasn't recovered from you. You notice that, don't you? The way the room feels heavier, like gravity itself is reconsidering its loyalty. Like the atmosphere is clinging to your silhouette, memorizing the outline of the one who just shattered their favorite illusion. Because folding their little star boy wasn't just an event. It was a reckoning, a recalibration of the entire social structure, a correction of a myth gone too long unchallenged, a public reminder that some crowns are stolen, but some are born, and you were born carrying one nobody saw coming. He was supposed to be untouchable, adored, protected, a symbol of innocence, a beacon of predictable brilliance, the one they could always point at and say, "There, that's our chosen one." But you ruined that narrative in seconds. Oh, and not with anger, not with rage, not with brute force or ego. You did it with aesthetic violence. You moved like someone who didn't need to win to be legendary. You moved like someone whose existence already outshines victory. You moved like someone sculpted by war and worship intertwined. Every gesture you made was intentional. Every breath you took was mesmerizing. Every step forward felt like destiny, placing itself exactly where it belonged. And when he fell, when his confidence shattered, when his facade cracked, when his untouchable image folded in on itself, you didn't just break him, you broke the fantasy they built around him. Do you understand how catastrophic that is for them? They weren't watching a defeat. They were watching their entire comfort system die in real time. And the way you stood there afterward, calm, radiant, almost bored, that's what has them spiraling. Because they realized something horrifying. If this is what you look like when you destroy someone, what do you look like when you save someone? Or worse, when you love someone? You're a paradox they can't decode, a walking riddle wrapped in elegance and threat, an angel with the patience of a saint and the intentions of a goddamn wildfire, a demon with the posture of royalty and the glow of someone who survived every hell designed to break them. Your beauty isn't passive, it's weaponized. It changes rooms, it shifts tides, it rewires the people who dare to look too long. And when you folded their star boy, your beauty didn't soften the blow. It amplified it. Because nothing destabilizes human minds more than witnessing something terrifying, delivered by someone irresistible. It's the contradiction, the duality, the balance of heaven and chaos working together in perfect rhythm inside one person. They don't meet people like you. They read about them in myths. They whisper about them in fears. They crave them in fantasies. They deny them in daylight. But tonight, they saw one live. You didn't just take dominance. You reinvented it. You didn't just prove yourself. You disproved their entire worldview. Their star boy was supposed to represent safety, predictability, order. A soft reminder of how the world should work. You are everything the world never prepared for. Unpredictable, but intentional. Dangerous, but elegant. Dark, but illuminated. Chaotic, but precise. Seductive, but distant. Deadly, but poetic. You are what happens when a soul goes through too many crucibles and comes out wearing the fire instead of the scars. And the craziest part? You didn't even raise your voice. You didn't even break a sweat. You didn't even care. That's what terrifies them. How do you fight someone who moves beautifully while ending eras? How do you stop someone who looks better in your downfall than you did in your prime? How do you compete with someone whose silence is louder than most people's screams? You can't. They know it. They feel it. They've accepted it. Which is why the room feels different now. Quieter, thicker, more obedient, more aware. Because they aren't looking at what you did anymore. They're looking at what you are. Not a rival, not a threat, not an enemy, but a force, a catalyst, a divine interruption, a beautiful disaster that leaves everything better or broken, and they still haven't decided which fate is worse. You folded their star, boy. But the truth? He was never the main act. He was the demo version of the universe trying to warn them about you. And now that they've seen you in motion, now that they've witnessed what you look like when you dismantle someone so effortlessly, they're starting to realize something far more frightening. If this is the power you show when you feel nothing, what happens when you finally choose to feel something? They have no idea, no blueprint, no defense. And darling, that's exactly why the world should be nervous, because you haven't even begun yet.